How did photography start in Mexico? Mexico embraced the idea of photography by creating a daguerreotype demonstration. On December 3, 1839, the French engraver Louis Perlier arrived in Veracruz with 2 cameras purchased in Paris. He organized a public demonstration and transmitted the wonders of the city to plates. The earliest images on the site were in 1857. This tumultuous and dynamic period in the history of Mexico coincided with rapid developments in the new field of photography. Although the first photographs made in Mexico appeared barely 6 months after the invention of the daguerreotype had been announced in 1839. Conversely, early photographers in Mexico at the time focused on travel and exploration. Foreign photographers in particular were interested in documenting the ethnographic, archaeological, and natural sites of Mexico. Desiree Charnain, who began his archaeological explorations in 1858, was the first of the archaeologist explorers to break with the romanticized conception of ancient Mexico and use the camera as an instrument for scientific research. Abel Bertek, a photography teacher at the French Military Academy of Saint-Cyr and a Parisian studio photographer, arrived in Mexico in 1883 to photograph Mexican ports. He opened a studio in Mexico City in 1885 and began to produce a large body of work on a variety of subjects, from landscape, flora and fauna, and typos. Also published photographic series with titles such as Vistas Mexicanas and Tipos Mexicanos. Bertek is considered to have been the first modern commercial photographer in Mexico. Another famous photographer is Guillermo Kahlo, father of the artist Frida Kahlo. Was born in Baden, Germany. He immigrated to Mexico in 1891 at the age of 19 and married the daughter of Antonio Calderon, the Oaxacan studio photographer to whom he had been apprenticed. Kahlo opened his own studio in Mexico City in 1901. From 1904 onward, he received numerous government commissions to inventory Mexico's architectural monuments. In 1910, he completed photographic inventory of Spanish colonial church architecture in Mexico. Almost 200 of these images were later published in Dr. Alt Iglesias de Mexico. Next, the Mexican government and private entrepreneurs alike also use photography to promote Mexico. Focusing their lenses on the future rather than the past, various artists pushed towards photograph progress. Their images of landscapes in transition made during a long period of relative political stability, showing Mexico being transformed by engineering projects such as telephone lines, tunnels, railroads, bridges, and dams. Their work also memorialized the achievements of ambitious Porfirian government and highlighted natural resources in order to attract foreign investors. Another interesting topic is photojournalism. It began around 1900 and has formed a pillar of Mexican photography, appearing in illustrated magazines and the numerous picture histories that have been produced. It became an important tool of Porfirio Diaz's dictatorship. In 1896, Rafael Reyes Spindola, owner of several newspapers, began to print photographs in his papers. Photojournalism rapidly developed as a means both to record, change, and keep the public abreast of events. Moreover, photography in the Mexican Revolution was one interesting subject for the government and the people. The Mexican Revolution has been a central figure in both photography and cinema. The revolution was much photographed and filmed when it occurred, and that material has formed the base of many picture histories, often formed with the archive of Agustin Victor Casasola, as well as with documentary films. The years of the revolution were extensively chronicled by Mexican, American, and European photojournalists, who covered the ever-changing field of action across the country. Revolutionary leaders were quick to seize opportunities to publicize their causes via news, photographs, postcards, and even motion pictures. Many images of the revolution expose the brutality and violence of war and indeed are the precursors of contemporary war photography. The Mexican Revolution, however, was on hand to record the assassination of Pancho Villa in 1923, 3 years after peace was restored to Mexico and the infamous revolutionary retired to his ranch. Overall, Mexican photography is essential to the American audience. It teaches us about the arrival photography and who brought it to the country of Mexico. By doing so, we are able to capture significant events that allowed us to better grasp an understanding of the foundations of Mexico. Most prominently, we can capture the very essence of moments, visuals, history, and changing culture through the windows in which photographers laid out for us.